What's up, people, and welcome to this video, guys. So in this video, guys, we're gonna be taking a look at this bad boy right here. Actually, wait a second. This bad boy right here. Okay, so the first thing, obviously, which we have to talk about are these lights right there. That's pretty cool, huh? That's pretty cool. That's a phone. That's a mobile right there. With RGB lights, that's cool. Okay, so basically what we're gonna be doing in this video, guys, is that I'm gonna be talking about this phone, a bit about the specs, okay, and show you a few features about this phone. This is a gaming phone, by the way, which is actually cheap. Okay, what is this? Why do I have an antenna on my head? Okay, why? Just why? So I will not go way in depth into the specs of this phone, okay, because I'm not really good about that, but I will be talking a bit about the specs, okay, but I will also be leaving all the specs in the description below, and also a link to where you can buy this phone and also find out more specs about the phone if you want to do that. So first of all, enhanced gaming mode is a feature on this phone, which you simply, if you can see right there, it's kind of hard to see, but there is a button right there which you can switch. So as you can see right here, so basically what it does, it turns the phone into like a gaming phone, and when you're in this gaming mode of the phone, you actually have different settings which you can go ahead and customize your gaming experience and stuff like that, which we will go a bit more in depth a bit later. It's using hybrid cooling system, which is basically meaning it is using liquid as well as air, which will go to make the phone a lot cooler when you're playing a game, so it won't overheat, stuff like that. I did play PUBG Mobile a bit on this phone, and I did not feel any heat whatsoever from the phone. I did only play for like 25 minutes, but usually by then you can already feel the phone getting warmer, but I didn't feel that with this phone, so that's a big plus, because you don't want to have sweaty fingers when you're playing a mobile game, because that can ruin your experience a lot and definitely make you play a lot worse. So that's actually a pretty cool thing about this phone. 3800 milliamp battery. It has quick charge up to 10 GB of RAM and up to 256 GB of storage. It also, which absolutely blew my mind, okay? This phone is, if you compare it to other phones on the market, this is pretty cheap, okay? So I did not expect this phone to have this, but let's see if I can do like that. It's really hard to see, okay? It's really hard to see, especially on my camera, which is trash. Okay, I'm not sure if you can even see that. Let's see, can it focus? Please focus. Okay, no, I have to cut to another. But basically on the sides right here, right there and right there, it has shoulder buttons, which mean you can play like this, which I'll go ahead and show you a bit later as well, which just amazes me. This is a phone which is absolutely insane that it has that, and we will go in more in depth about that a bit later as well. It has 3D speakers and virtual sounds, okay? Now when I'm thinking about it, we have already talked about this phone for a couple of minutes, but I haven't even mentioned its name, okay? It's called Red Magic Mars, which is actually a really cool name. And this specific one, as you can see right here on the back, has camo as well as some red stripes around the camera as well here and there, as well as the RGB lighting right here, which, I mean, it's a very beautiful phone. One thing which I haven't done, which I know a lot of people don't really, you know, they keep the plastic on, but I just love to pull that off. It's a screen protector, but the screen feels so much better without the thing, and I also think it's easier to, you know, use the touchscreen and stuff like that, especially when you're playing. So that's why I took it off, okay? But it looks very cool. Red Magic Marks is the name, but like I said, more information will be down in the description. But now, I wanted to go and talk a bit about the price. So there are 3 different versions, okay? And there are 2 different versions how you want this phone to look. Either you can choose this version, which has, you know, the camo on the back, as well as this X right here, which is honestly really cool. And then there's also a red and black. You can buy the version called Essential, which has 6 GB of RAM and 64 GB of storage, and that will only go and cost you $399 US, which is pretty cheap for a gaming phone if you compare it, okay? And this one is the version called Conqueror, which it has this camo look. It has 256 gigabyte of storage and 10 gigabyte of RAM. This one will gonna cost you $549 US, so it's definitely a bit more expensive, but you know, the more storage you have, the more expensive it will go ahead and get. But you can buy the cheaper version for $399, which is cheap for a gaming device for sure, especially with all of these functions. It is also using a fingerprint scanner right here on the back to go ahead and open your phone, and it works really easy. But now I want to talk about the gaming side of this phone. It's going to show you a bit more about the features which it has. So that is exactly what we're going to be doing. So sadly, there won't be any sound on this gameplay, but hopefully you can manage to live without that. I think you have done that before. So we're going to be starting off by just simply turning on the gaming mode right there, and that's the gaming mode sound when you start it up. So here you can see a few things which you're going to turn on. You have interstellar belt, which is, I would guess, is this RBG light here on the back, which looks very, very cool, and which, by the way, you can customize yourself. It has its own customizable app in the phone, which I'm going to show you here very, very quickly. If you go in right here, you can see you can customize it however you want. You have flicker, you have flow, you have flash, collider, and beacon. Let's go and take a look at the flow version right here. That is mad. Then you have high performance, as you can see right here. Enabling this function will improve performance rapidly, which may increase power consumption and heat generation. So it will basically be focusing everything it has on this specific game that you're playing, or in the gaming mode. It also has 4D vibration, which I have never heard of before. It works on PUBG and Knives Out, and basically what that is that it will vibrate on the side where it can hear, you know, sounds or whatever happening. It vibrates here, it vibrates there, depending on what's going on around you, which I think is pretty cool. Shield notification is basically turning off, I would guess, notifications, which is really cool that it can do that. Nothing really special, but still it's nice that it has that function. So we're gonna be jumping into a training ground out here, and I'm gonna show off how the button works up here. So we are in the training ground right now, and what you have to do to go and turn on these shoulder buttons is that you scroll down like this, and then you click this button right there, which will go ahead and start them. And as you can see, these you can go ahead and place them wherever you want, as you can see, and they can go ahead and click any buttons. So I'm just gonna do like that, and now when I click here, you can see that I am punching. So now let's gonna pick up a weapon right here. Let's just go with the AK. Let's gonna pick up some ammunition right there. And I'm accidentally clicking my fingers up there because I'm so used to having my finger right there. But here you can see when I'm clicking like this, it's gonna be zooming right there, as you can see. And then if we click and hold this, you can see we are firing at the same time, which is, I mean, it's a huge advantage. Look at this, bro, move! Look at that. If we go into settings right here, it will be easier to show you. Simply click on the left side, right side, left side. As you can see, it's basically, well, there's no delay whatsoever. This is basically like you're clicking on the screen. So that is basically how the buttons works, and like I said before, it's very easy to go ahead and customize the buttons as where you want them, and which button you want them to go ahead and press on. You can also go ahead and tap with it, as you can see, and it works really good. But that is basically how the buttons works and everything about this phone. I will go ahead and leave a link in the description for more information about this phone, and if you want to check it out, as well as more details about it. Look at that. But guys, opposite Instagrams as always. Thank you for watching.